Once upon a time, in the opulent kingdom of Illyrian, there was a young prince named Adrian. Born into a life of privilege, Adrian had never experienced want or hardship. The palace was his playground, and servants catered to his every whim. Despite his royal upbringing, Adrian was known for his arrogance and indifference toward the plight of his people. One fateful day, King Edric, Adrian's father, summoned him to the throne room. The king was a wise and just ruler who had earned the respect of his people through years of fair governance. Concerned about Adrian's behavior, he warned, "A king who knows not the struggles of his people cannot rule wisely. Compassion, humility, and understanding are the true marks of a ruler." Adrian dismissed his father's words with a smirk. "Father, ruling is about strength and power. Compassion makes a ruler weak," he said arrogantly. King Edric was troubled by his son's words. That evening, he consulted with his most trusted advisor, the mysterious sorcerer Alaric. After a long discussion, the king made a difficult decision. The next morning, Adrian woke up to find himself in a tattered cloak, lying in the bustling streets of Illyrian. The palace was nowhere in sight. His fine clothes and jewelry were gone, and his royal signet ring had vanished. At first, Adrian thought it was a dream, but the rumbling of his empty stomach and the stares of passers-by convinced him otherwise. Confused and angry, Adrian tried to assert his royal identity, but no one believed him. The people saw only a beggar, not a prince. Forced to fend for himself, Adrian stumbled into a marketplace, where he was caught stealing a loaf of bread. An old man named Garrus, who ran a small food stall, took pity on him. "Stealing is wrong, boy," Garrus said sternly. "But you look like you've been through enough. Here, take this and eat." Garrus handed him a piece of bread and some water. Humbled, Adrian thanked the man and learned his first lesson in gratitude. Garrus offered Adrian a place to stay in exchange for helping at the stall. Adrian reluctantly agreed, hiding his royal lineage. Days turned into weeks, and Adrian's life as a commoner taught him the value of hard work. He struggled to carry heavy sacks of grain, clean dishes, and served customers. He met Elara, Garrus' spirited daughter, whose sharp wit and kind heart both annoyed and intrigued him. Elara, unlike anyone Adrian had ever known, was unafraid to speak her mind. She challenged his worldview and often criticized the ruling class for ignoring the struggles of the poor. Though Adrian initially defended the monarchy, her words struck a chord in him. One evening, as they sat under the stars, Elara shared her dream of creating a community where everyone could live with dignity, free from oppression. Her passion inspired Adrian, who began to see the kingdom through her eyes. Meanwhile, back in the palace, King Edric secretly observed Adrian's transformation through Alaric's magic. The king's heart swelled with hope, but a shadow loomed over the kingdom. A neighboring warlord, Lord Kale, sought to conquer Illyrian. He exploited the kingdom's discontented peasants, sowing discord and rallying them to his cause. Kale's army was vast, and his spies whispered of Adrian's disappearance, further destabilizing the realm. Unaware of the looming threat, Adrian continued his journey of self-discovery. One day, Garrus fell ill, leaving the food stall's future uncertain. Adrian took charge, applying skills he had learned as a prince to manage resources and attract more customers. His efforts not only saved the stall, but also earned him the respect of the local community. In the process, Adrian discovered the joy of serving others. He realized that leadership was not about power but about responsibility and care. However, his new life took an unexpected turn when a royal guard recognized him. The guard informed Adrian of the kingdom's peril and begged him to return to the palace. Torn between his desire to stay and his duty to the crown, Adrian sought Elara's advice. "Go," she said firmly. "Your people need you. But remember the lessons you've learned here." Adrian returned to the palace, where his father welcomed him with pride. King Edric declared, "You have proven yourself worthy of the crown. Now, it is time to defend our kingdom." Adrian devised a plan to unite the kingdom against Kale, drawing on his experiences as a commoner. He addressed the people directly, acknowledging their struggles and vowing to be a just ruler. His sincerity and newfound humility won their trust. With the combined forces of the kingdom, Adrian led a strategic defense against Kale's army. The battle was fierce, but Adrian's leadership and the unity of the people prevailed. After the war, Adrian was crowned king. He ruled with wisdom and compassion, instituting reforms that uplifted the poor and bridged the gap between classes. He often sought Elara's counsel, and their friendship blossomed into love. Years later, the people of Illyrian spoke of the Beggar Prince, who became the greatest king in their history. Adrian never forgot the lessons of his journey, and his legacy endured as a symbol of humility and redemption.